Oh, we're kicking it. Super kicking it with Kelsi.
Hi, it's Kelsi from SuperKicking It With Kelsi, and I'm here at Wizard World Comic Con in New Orleans, where there's tons of artist booths set up. But one of my favorite artists is here. His name is Erik, from Erik Hodson's Illustrations, and he told me about what he's been up to since the last time we talked.
Well, just like I told you last year, I've been doing a new wrestling piece every month. My catalog's up to 32 now. Met lots of really cool wrestlers over the whole course of the year. Have to say, meeting the New Age Outlaws this year was absolutely amazing. That was back in November. They loved their piece. In fact, Road Dogg actually tweeted it out. Oh, we got to get one of these. So that was really cool. Yeah, it's been a great year.
It really has been, and actually you've done some special pieces for highspots.com, and I think those are a big deal because, you know, Bullet Club's on fire with their merch.
Yep.
Talk to me about that and how that was.
Well, it was pretty amazing. They came to me at a North Carolina show and introduced themselves, and then later on we hooked up over email and Facebook and all that, and got stuff worked out. And yeah, I actually did, my first exclusive was the Elite, a big 18 by 24 poster with everybody on it. Hangman, Omega, the Bucks, you know, Cody Rhodes. Based kind of off of the Defenders #1, but kept adding more characters because, you know, the Elite's got a nice roster going there, so we filled that up pretty good. Did the Christmas card, so anybody who got anything from them, you should have got a Christmas card, which was hysterical. I just loved, when I was thinking about what kind of an idea to do, I was like, you know what, they're bringing Vince McMahon's doorbell would be hilarious, so that's what I ended up doing for that. It's been really great. Got some new ones coming out too with them. The exclusive for Paradise City Comic Con with, he used to be called Pentagon Jr., but now he's going by Penta L0M, whatever. That was a fun one to put together, so yeah, lots of things going on.
Yeah, I loved the Elite piece. It was awesome, and actually they used it for a backdrop for one of their exclusive interviews. I think that was a big deal because they blew up your art.
Yes.
It was right behind them. I was so excited to see that. How did you feel about that?
I saw it on an Instagram posting, and I just fell out of my chair because I didn't expect something like that. And Marine from High School was like, hey, go big or go home. I was like, yeah, okay. So, and the fan response has been great. Like I tell people, wrestling fans are some of the best fans, so I get to have some of the best fans out there in fandom. You know, it's fun to talk and commiserate, and that's how we met. And so it's, I mean, it's a great community to be a part of.
It really is. It's a very unique, awesome, special community. And I also want to touch on, your work's so great, but how can people support you? How can they find your art?
The best way you can do it is to join me on Patreon, Patreon/HeyMelby. That way you get to see the progression of every wrestling piece and all the other work that I'm doing. And you get to put in some feedback and stuff. And for my January piece, I'll go ahead and announce it now for you. I am doing the Alpha versus Omega match based on the Superman versus Muhammad Ali cover. And for anybody who is one of my patrons, I'm going to do a posting later on this week. I'm going to hide you in the audience somewhere.
Oh my God.
That'll be a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so excited.
You're going to have to send me a picture.
Okay, I'll send you a picture. Thanks so much. I'm so happy about that. Thank you.
It's going to be a lot of fun to do. If you're not familiar with that cover, there's lots of celebrities and superheroes all throughout that whole crowd scene with them in the boxing ring, and I think it's going to be a fun one because that match, let's face it, that match was one for the record books.
It was incredible. Everyone tuned in to watch that. It was the biggest tuned into Wrestle Kingdom ever, and I think that says a lot about what the match meant for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. WWE certainly is on notice because we're going to have another Monday Night Wars situation with New Japan, Ring of Honor. I mean, the independent circuit is just blowing up exponentially. I think 2018 is going to be a great year for wrestling fans.
I have to agree with you, and I actually think it's kind of like we're in the midst of a new attitude era, kind of. Wrestling is becoming more cool, it's becoming popular, more so than it's been in like 20 years. It's such a special time to be a fan. And also, I want to talk specifically about one of my favorite pieces you've done this year, the DDP piece. Tell me about that, please.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So, here's the piece in particular, based off an Avengers cover, the first appearance of the Taskmaster, and DDP is one of those characters in wrestling who he's iconic. You know him for the business, and he's done so much outside of it. So I want to do something that kind of brought everything together. Meeting him and his wonderful wife Brenda at Steel City this past December was amazing. They're great people, and it's just another fun one to add to my collection.
Yeah, it's really one of my favorites. And just tell me about which one that you've done this year. Which wrestling piece has been your favorite?
One of my personal favorites right now is the New Age Outlaws piece. Just because that's one that, it's one of those designs that it just clicks so well. And if you don't know anything about the comic that's based off of, it was based off of the Power Man and Iron Fist where they first teamed up. And in the background, you got this kind of a splash of all this action scenes that have kind of gone on. So in that piece, I got to include a lot of Attitude Era things with the DX Army and just all of that rich storytelling that was going on during the time period. It just worked out great. And like I said, meeting them was icing on the cake.
I saw China was also in the background on that one.
Absolutely, absolutely, yep.
Yeah, you can't really disclude her. She's awesome.
Yeah, and if anybody from WD management is watching, you need to get her into the Hall of Fame. I think it's time.
I think it's time too. And I just want to thank you so much, Erik, for your time. I've been so blessed to be able to talk with you. Thanks so much, and I wish you continued success.
Oh, thank you very much, and success with your channel too. You've been blowing up too this past year, and it's great. And just more of it. Let's keep it going.
Let's do it. Thanks.
See ya.
One sweet.
Oh, we're kicking it. Super kicking it with Kelsi.